Yo guys, welcome back to the third game of the day. This time it's Adzikov versus Gameking. And this one is also going to be a super interesting one. So let's get right into it. So first off we have Adzikov. Adzikov is bringing Pirate's Cove, Nature's Gift, Reckless Fury and Uprising. This lineup is very similar to what we saw Cole bringing earlier. And yeah, again, the basic idea of Adzikov is just try to bring decks that are not easily targeted. Probably going to have a ban on Syndicate most of the time, and then he's saying Nature's Gift, Reckless Fury, and Uprising, these three decks, they're just solid. They will do super fine into most decks. And yeah, like, not much to say about most of the decks that we haven't covered in some of the previous videos already. Gift is, you know, nice point spam with a Pavko and a Gesra that can be strong long rounds. Same goes for Aithne. Reckless Fury, you got some nice control in it with a lock. You got your leader charges. But also just a deck that you usually can take a long round, play a bunch of points and have like a huge finisher with a Leo or with a Mentor. And then there is Uprising. And Uprising is also just Witchers, bunch of cards that, you know, standard version, mid-range version, no tall punish other than Ansays. So again, Adzikov's lineup, really good if you're going up against people who are not really, like, they're trying to target something specific, I would say. Like, if you go up against an opponent who has a deck or lineup that's just really good against some sort of specific deck, then this will probably be good, because these are not usually decks that you would target. So, let's see what Gameking decided to bring. Gameking is going for the same lineup as Life Coach. They have been prepping together. So, he got Cove, Fury, Omen Hunger, and Inspired Seal. We talked about these one in the first matchup as well. Pirate's Cove being the most normal one of these decks, but you got a Tin Boy in this deck to target wide. Got Patricidal Fury with this Wild Boar of the Sea, the Lambert, again, bunch of Troll Punish, ultimate good. Omen Hunger, you got Werecat, you got Lambert, and then Inspired Seal, you got the Lambert and the Drog. So a bunch of Troll Punish, White Punish in this deck. Now, the issue for Gameking in this matchup is that there's not much white to punish in Adzikov's lineup. There's no elves. There are no Arrakis Swarm. Like, there's no... I mean, these are the two decks you wanted to beat, right? So when you look at these decks, what go tall? Well, Witches go tall, but they have so much value from the shields on the Adepts. The Adepts will just counter all this anti-swarm cards. Pirate's Cove is not going particularly wide. Reckless Fury a little bit, but not in a way that these decks actually trade that much up on it. And Nature's Gift is probably the deck that goes wide the most, I would say. But the issue is, I think, that Gameking got all these white punishes, but he does not have any sort of answers for engines. Like, if you want to go long round against the Swarm deck, that's fine, because you have cards like Wild Boar, or Gerd, or Lambert. But when the opponent plays cards like Pavko, like Aithne, like Gesra, if you cannot answer them, you're going to lose even if you have the white punish. And if we take a look at Gameking's list, like, what sort of control cards does he have outside of, let's say, Syndicate? Well, Patricidal Fury, there's no control card. Like, I think he got a Gutting Slash. The Gutting Slash is all the control he has. For Omen Hunger, I mean, you got the control for the Phantom that you can trigger. And that's it. Like, you don't even have a selection, I don't think. And for Inspired Seal, again, it's the same thing. Like, you don't even have a Selkirk or anything like that. So for all of these decks, well, you don't have any control. So when you go up against Adzikov, who, sure, like, he goes wide. But when he goes wide with these engines, they will do better against Gameking. So I think Gameking is really going to struggle against Adzikov. He really needs to play his best Gwent to stand a chance against him with these decks. So, like, this time for Adzikov, his lineup is actually working out really well, right? Like, he wanted to avoid targeting, and the opponent decides to target, so he just is super favored. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking that Adzikov will come out on top on this one, but I wouldn't say it's completely unwinnable for Gameking. He really needs to play well, but he does have a chance. Let me know what you think, guys, and see you in the next one.